Well, messed up on my second take, so here comes the third take. Oh my goodness. I hope I can get it down really good this time. Mr. DJ Countdown Fancy Playlist, March 18th, 1983. How you doing? It is Monday morning here in Tuscaloosa. It's almost 1 in the morning. I guess this will have to be my second and my last video of the morning. About 37 more songs to count down after I do this one. Melissa Manchester. Number 38, up 3 from 41, Nice Girls. A techno dance record. This is Melissa Manchester stepping out of her comfort zone. Best known for those adult contemporary hits, her ballads. Midnight Blue, best known for that. And then she came up with that up-tempo, You Should Hear How She Talks About You, which was produced by Aretha Martine, and she really glammed up. She cut her hair short and just, gotta give her credit. One of her most passionate records I've ever heard. That song was written by Tom Snow and Dean Pitchford. Dean Pitchford borrowed the lyrical concept of that record from the song She Loves You by the Beatles. Yeah. You should hear how she talks about you. God, it's a great record by Melissa Manchester. But, you know, I get into those Lost 45s. Melissa Manchester, Just You and I, 1976. Just Too Many People in 1975. And there was Fire in the Morning in 1980. Her other big hit, huge ballad, Don't Cry Out Loud, 1978, originally done by the Moments. It was an R&B hit, not a big R&B hit, very minor thing. It's just, Don't Cry Out Loud is a classic example of taking a song that's very obscure and making it into a massive hit in a different format, from R&B to pop. But my favorite song by Melissa Manchester, oh God, I was so in love with this. Those Pretty Girls Look Good on You. Back in 1979, she sounded so coy, sexy, if a little bit sarcastic. Dissing on somebody a little bit, I guess. But it was a lovely record. Just flipped over that record. Those Pretty Girls. Couldn't hear it enough on the radio. It wasn't played enough on the radio. And just barely made top 40. Climbed to number 39 on Billboard's Hot 100. She won a Grammy on You Should Hear How She Talks About You. And she got a Grammy for that. And Nice Girls, I really don't have anything to say about it. I don't know anything about the record except it was put on a greatest hits album. But I got a theory. Guess who played drums on You Should Hear How She Talks About You? Jeff Porcaro, or Porcaro of Toto. He played drums on that record. I'm wondering if he played drums on this record. It's a similar style. Dance. Well, not new wave, but a dance techno. Early 80s record. But it's just a theory. Just wondering. That's all. Well, that's it, folks. That's all I got to say about this record. She really did glam up for that. You should hear how she talks about you. She cut her hair short and she just changed her style, changed her vocals a little bit. And you got to give her credit for stepping out of her comfort zone, doing these two records, Nice Girls and You Should Hear How She Talks About You. Well, it is Melissa Manchester who put out her first album, by the way. Oh my goodness. I knew I forgot something. I apologize. There were two or three things that were very important that I want to mention to you. Well, first off, she started singing jingles when she was 15. Commercial jingles. She's from New York. She's from the Bronx. Around 1970, she took a songwriting course at New York University. Guess who her instructor was? Paul Simon. And Paul Simon, now I read this somewhere some years ago, he could be a tough taskmaster. He got on to Melissa Manchester. He said, you know, you're writing too much like Laura Nero or Laura Niro. Can't pronounce her last name. Nero, I believe is how I pronounce her last name. Nero, of course, was a legendary songwriter. Oh my goodness, she wrote Wedding Bell Blues, Stone Soul Picnic, Eli's Coming. It's little wonder why Melissa Manchester would want to write like her. And But Paul Simon got on to her about that. He didn't like that too much, I guess. Melissa Manchester, she was singing at a nightclub in Manhattan. Guess who discovered her? You won't believe it. Barry Manilow. This was before Barry Manilow got big. Now, this was back in 1971. At that time, Barry Manilow was arranging for Bette Midler. He introduced Melissa Manchester to Bette Midler, and Bette Midler put her in her backup group. Melissa Manchester became a member of the Harlettes, a group of female singers who backed up Bette Midler. Same background for Bette Midler. And then she put out her debut album in 1973, and then 1975 she came out with Melissa, self-titled, at Midnight Blue, and you know the rest is history. Video's done. Take care. Melissa Manchester, Nice Girls, at number 38 on my fantasy playlist, March 18th, 1983.